Okay, folks. Right. Okay, I've decided to say a few words. Probably going to go in a wee bit here because I will. It's dead difficult not to get into a kind of rant mode. When I start talking about some of the subject matter that's going to come up here. But it's surrounding the Tommy Robinson guy. Now, he's just been found guilty. You've no doubt heard he's been found guilty, and I don't know what you think about him. It doesn't really matter what you think about him, one way or the other. You know, what you need to try and understand is he's been targeted by the establishment, particularly because he just recently tried to become an MP. Right, that is a major no-no for them. But let's just jump back a wee bit. A few months, several months, or earlier in the year, Tommy Robinson found out that there was a trial taking place in a specific location that involved a lot of Pakistani men that had been raping young girls, underage children. They're going to be sentenced, and he went along to the court. There had been now. Would you hear this? There had been a ban on reporting on it. You see, because what you've got to understand is the authorities have been hiding this. They don't want you to know how deep and how long this has been going on for. You know, hundreds of Pakistani men have been convicted of raping white children. Think about that. So the consequences for them are severe in terms of the population getting a hold of them. So what they do is they put a D notice, or they ban any publication, any news organisation from reporting on it, because that might attract the victims' families or other people who want to hit out at these people. Like mob rule, justice, that sort of type thing. So anyway, he went along to the court and he live streamed it. The judge inside found out that he was outside live streaming. He never mentioned any names. He just said where he was and what he was doing. But he's got quite a reach, Tommy Robinson. He has quite a following. And so the judge sent the police out. They lifted him, took him away, and within a few days they had sentenced him to, I don't know, 3 months without a trial. Just brought him in and went like that, bang. You can't get a lawyer. Put him away. They thought they were in the Middle Ages. They thought it was the 18th century. I mean, he's lucky he wasn't sent to Australia, although probably he'd have a better life in Australia. Well, maybe no, that's in a bit of a state right enough, Australia at the minute. They've got their own problems. But anyway, so to cut a long story short, he's just been so the authorities, instead of letting that go, they reinvested time and money in it, and they took him to the High Court, and a judge has just done him for it, right? Give him 9 months. He'll do at least 2 or 3 months in jail. But basically, this story is around what happened just after it, where a guy kind of loses it here and goes for the BBC. So I'm going to stop it there because basically that's it. They were lucky. They got off lucky, I think, considering how corrupt the BBC is. The BBC is just a mouthpiece for the same people. The very same people that put the D notice up. It's the same group. The guys that become governors of the BBC are politicians generally. The corrupt politicians. And that's a gravy train. I mean, and another thing that he did was Tommy Robinson. He told people to stop paying their TV licence, and that set the cat amongst the pigeons. So anyway, that wee scuffle there, and the BBC think they were attacked. They weren't sort of physically attacked with weapons or anything like that. That guy just was getting a bit angry, and they're like, "Oh, this is terrible. We were attacked." They take their chances like everybody else now. Journalists, Journalists are very opinionated. They think they're above it. I think they're going to find that in the future, because journalists are so duplicitous, so treacherous, so biased, that they're no longer respected, really. Mainstream journalists are no longer respected. There are some people, obviously, that are okay, but I would say the majority of them are no longer respected by the masses. Right? The people that are awake now, they view them as scum, really. Now, obviously, these people got a bit upset. There's the guy there. Now, don't forget, folks, that guy's had his liberty taken away. No matter what you think of him, you think he's right, you think he's wrong, they went after him for basically reporting on pedophiles raping children. Think about that, alright? That's the core of the story. Never forget that. And he was willing to do something about it. I wasn't, and you weren't. Right? And this is what they gave him, because the establishment are protecting pedophiles, because that's what they do. The judges, the lords, the MPs, what do you think they do? I mean, it's all coming out with Epstein, his connections to other politicians. You know, the suspicions around Prince Andrew. Remember Jimmy Savile, folks? Jimmy Savile used to cut about with quite a lot of royalty. That's a strange one, isn't it? He was an idiot DJ. Why would you think he would suddenly be getting access to these guys? Because he was an enabler. He had the keys of certain places. He could go amongst us, the people, and bring kids out. I mean, Jimmy Savile was nothing. You know, paedophile rings are massive. They suspect that Edward Heath, the Prime Minister, was involved. Anyway, so let's get back to Tommy. So all sorts of shit hit the fan. These cops here, they just went to their work and suddenly found themselves in amongst us. These guys are paid. They don't realise that to cope, to be between the establishment. That's the establishment there, and us. Here we're here, and there's a barrier there, and they stand between that. They stand between us and that there. Now they're standing there with big clubs and all that, but I want you to remember that these people here don't have clubs. It would be so easy for them to bring weapons and overpower these people. We are the masses. I mean, if you want to know, if you want to see how cops that do things like that to their population are treated, go and view what happened in Ukraine. And eventually what happened was, when the Polish started taking a doing, was the Polish pulled back and started sniping at people. They actually gave them guns and they started taking pot shots at people. And that's what these guys would do. And eventually, what they do is they take their uniforms off and try and blend in. Eventually, that's the way, that's the evolution there. They try to stop people. The people have a cause. The cause becomes paramount in the people's mind. And the people decide to take these guys on. These guys then realise that that's widespread, fall back, and then they say, well, let's up the ante a wee bit here. So they use rubber bullets and real live ammo. The army might even get involved. But when the people get involved, just like the IRA and the big terrorist groups, then the shit really hits the fan. And you find out, as I say, that these people suddenly take their uniforms off and pretend that they're no coppers. And that's really the way it goes. So they basically headed down towards Parliament, and that Muslim girl there, I think, found herself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And no doubt people were saying some awful things to her. But that's Tomo. That's his pal. So I think it's a bloody shame that the guy's been targeted. I mean, there's no doubt these people are angry, but they're not violent. They've not got a weapon on their shoulder. He's not got a weapon. He's got a weapon. Do you see? They're armed. And they're going to attack you. You know? There's a guy there going to court with his gear because he knows he's going to jail. It's a liberty. Some poor old sod getting arrested. Brilliant, eh? Look at them. They're not just jobs worth, these coppers. They're just a job. They're no special. Nothing special about them at all. And that's revealed by their actions. There's Katie Hopkins. I like Katie Hopkins. She's trying to sort of comfort him a bit. You know? Anyway, I hope the guy's okay. And there's another thing. The BBC were like that. A milkshake was thrown during the melee. Do you remember when somebody threw a milkshake over, who was it, Nigel Farage? And a few other people. The BBC are jumping up and down, yelling, this is what they deserve. But when somebody else throws one, it's a melee. That's how duplicitous, that's how hypocritical they are. That's how traitorous the BBC is to its people. They do what suits them. Their journalists are told what suits them. They are in a liberal stroke communist bubble. They're all well paid. You know? Do you think Gary Lineker and all these rats give a monkeys about us? All these daft reporters getting all that money? All our money? I'm afraid they don't, folks. You know? The likes of Jackie Bird and all them. You think they're journalists? What a laugh. What a laugh they are. The BBC Scotland crew. You seen the nick of them? What do you think they do at the weekend? They're all scumbags, as far as I'm concerned. But like most of us, I've not got the bottle or the wherewithal to stop paying this licence because I can't be bothered. And that's how lethargic, that's how pitiful most of us are. What does it take for us to stand up? You know? When you watch all these films about William Wallace and all the rest of it, and you see how people didn't want to do it, well, that's us, that's you, that's me. You know, we've all got our jobs and all that. It's pitiful. There's a guy in jail, lying in the jail right now, because he had the guts to do something about it. He got the guts to do something about it. Anyway, that's my tuppence worth. If you like the content, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Peace out.